It began with a single text. Just one. Hi, Lauren. Owen is breaking up with you. At first glance, it seemed like a silly prank. Something teenagers do to stir drama. But that one text message would unravel into a nightmare that no one in the small town of Beale City, Michigan, could have imagined. This is the story of Unknown Number, a story of betrayal, obsession, and one of the most shocking cases of cyberbullying in recent American history. And before we dive in, let me ask you, if you started receiving threatening, anonymous messages every day, who would you suspect first? A stranger? A jealous classmate? Or someone much closer? Keep that question in mind, because by the end of this story, the answer will haunt you. Lauren Lickery was only a teenager when it began. Bright, outgoing, involved in school. Like most teenagers, she spent time on her phone, chatting with friends, scrolling social media, texting her boyfriend, Owen. They were young, in love, and navigating high school together. But then the texts began, one after another. Vicious, cruel, anonymous. They accused Owen of cheating. They insulted Lauren. They mocked her. They threatened her. At first, she and Owen ignored them, blocked the numbers, tried to laugh it off. But the messages didn't stop. Instead, they multiplied. Imagine this. Every time you block a number, another one appears. Every morning, every night, a fresh wave of hate waiting for you. New numbers, new threats. Some messages even seem to know details of their private lives, things that only close friends or family would know. That was the most chilling part. This wasn't just random trolling. Someone knew them, someone close. The harassment stretched into weeks, then months, dozens of texts per day. Some were taunts. Some were lies meant to destroy Lauren and Owen's relationship. Others were so cruel, they urged Lauren to take her own life. She started to change. Once confident and bright, she became withdrawn, anxious, unable to trust anyone. Owen, too, struggled under the pressure. Their young relationship began to crack under the weight of something they couldn't even name. Parents grew worried. Teachers noticed. The harassment wasn't just hurting Lauren and Owen, it was tearing into the whole community. And when the texts leaked into school hallways, whispers and rumors spread. Who was behind this? Suspicion fell on classmates. One name that came up often was Chloe Wilson, a girl who had history with Owen. Could jealousy be the motive? Some texts even seemed to reference Chloe's personal life. She was investigated. Her phone was checked, but she denied everything. Still, the texts kept coming. Investigators grew desperate. They pulled records, analyzed devices, and even reached out to federal authorities for help. It wasn't just school drama anymore. It was harassment. It was cyberstalking. It was a crime. And all the while, one person seemed the most involved in trying to help Lauren. Her mother, Kendra Lickery. She comforted her daughter, voiced outrage, and pushed for answers. She was in the middle of it all, playing the role of the concerned parent. But then, the truth began to emerge. Digital forensics traced IP addresses. Patterns in the texts were analyzed. Investigators dug deeper into number masking apps and online accounts. Slowly, they began to unravel the web of anonymity. And what they found shocked them to their core. The messages, every single one, could be traced back to Lauren's own mother, Kendra. Yes, the very person who was supposed to protect her was the one tormenting her. For over a year, Kendra had created fake numbers, downloaded masking apps, and sent thousands of anonymous texts to her daughter and Owen. She told them lies. She broke them down emotionally. She even encouraged Lauren to hurt herself. It wasn't a stranger. It wasn't a jealous classmate. It was family. When confronted, Kendra admitted what she had done. But the question remains, why? Some say it was jealousy, that she was obsessed with her daughter's growing independence. Others say it was control, a psychological need to manipulate the people closest to her. Whatever the reason, her betrayal went deeper than anything the town had ever seen. She was charged with multiple counts of stalking and harassment. In 2023, she pleaded guilty. The judge sentenced her to 19 months to 5 years in prison. But by August 2024, she was released on parole. For Lauren, though, the damage was lasting. She lost trust. Her relationship with Owen fell apart. Her sense of safety shattered. And for Beale City, the scandal left scars that may never fully heal. Now, let's pause here for a moment. Imagine being Lauren. You've spent months terrified, isolated, and broken down by anonymous threats, only to find out it was your own mother. How would you react? How would you ever trust again? This isn't just a story about cyberbullying. It's a story about betrayal at the deepest level. Because while strangers online can be cruel, the thought that your own parent is the monster behind the screen, that's something most of us can't even comprehend. Even now, questions linger. Could the harassment have been stopped sooner? Were there red flags that investigators or family members missed? Was Kendra addicted to the power of anonymity? And most importantly, could something like this happen again in another town to another unsuspecting family? This is why the case became the focus of a Netflix documentary, Unknown Number, the high school catfish. Because it doesn't just tell a story, it warns us about technology, about trust, and about how sometimes the real danger isn't out there in the shadows. Sometimes it's sitting right next to you. The story of Unknown Number ends with prison time served, a family torn apart, and a community still grappling with betrayal. But the scars remain, and maybe that's what keeps people coming back to this case. Because deep down, we all wonder, what if the person tormenting you isn't a stranger? What if it's someone you love? And that, perhaps, is the scariest truth of all.